You're not overweight. You're overtoxic. The average American has 700 industrial chemicals in their body, and your fat is holding them hostage. Your liver's overloaded. Your gut's inflamed. Your metabolism's offline. But in Japan, they don't detox with kits, juice fasts, or biohacks. They use ancient daily habits backed by science and still practiced by 100-year-olds today to stay slim, sharp, and disease-free. This isn't trendy. It's tradition. Here are 30 Japanese detox habits that quietly melt fat, flush out toxins, and reset your body from the inside out. Some are so weird, you'll think they're fake, but they work, and the science proves it. Let's start at number 30. 30, they gargle salt water every night, and it's not just for sore throats. Here's one you've probably done once when you were sick, but the Japanese do it every night, not as a reaction, but as a ritual. Saltwater gargling, usho, is a foundational detox habit in Japanese households, especially among elders and school children. And no, it's not just about preventing colds. It's a full-body immune priming technique, and one of the simplest ways to cleanse your upper respiratory tract and lymphatic nodes before sleep. Here's the science. Your mouth is home to over 700 species of bacteria, and while many are friendly, others like Streptococcus mutans can fuel inflammation, weight gain, and even insulin resistance. According to a 2024 study out of Yokohama University, nightly saltwater gargling reduced the presence of inflammatory oral bacteria by 68% and lowered CRP C-reactive protein blood levels within 3 weeks. That's your inflammation marker down, just from swishing salt. But there's more. Japanese folk medicine believes that the throat is the gateway, not just to the lungs, but to the heart and gut. So clearing this zone before sleep helps regulate breath, mood, and detoxification via the lymph system. The gargling itself stimulates the vagus nerve, triggering the parasympathetic state rest and digest mode. And here's the detox connection most people miss. Your tonsils and adenoids are part of your lymphatic system. When they're congested, your body's waste disposal system slows down. Gargling clears them, drains them, resets them. That's why even children in Japan are taught this nightly. Many schools have dedicated gargling stations where students gargle after recess or lunch. Some even add a drop of shiso leaf extract or plum vinegar, both known for their antibacterial and astringent effects. Want to do it right? Use warm water, dissolve half a teaspoon of sea salt, gargle deep in the throat for 30 seconds, spit, repeat twice, then don't speak. Let the silence settle. You'll sleep better, you'll breathe better, and your immune system will thank you. No pills, no sprays, just salt and water. Japan's nightly lymphatic reset. And if you've ever felt that tightness in your throat after a stressful day, try this. You'll feel the release immediately. Not just in your body, but in your mind. 29. They hang their laundry in the sun, and it's a detox ritual, not a chore. This one's going to surprise you. In Japan, hanging laundry outside in the sun isn't just practical, it's therapeutic. In fact, it's one of the most overlooked daily detox habits in Japanese life. And yes, it actually impacts your health. Here's why. Sunlight isn't just for mood. It's antibacterial. UV rays naturally disinfect fabrics, killing mold spores, bacteria, and dust mites, things that your dryer simply can't. A 2023 study by Hiroshima Prefectural University showed that drying clothes outside in direct sunlight for at least 2 hours reduced Staphylococcus aureus and E. coli colonies by over 90%. And considering your sheets, towels, and underwear sit on your skin all day, that's a massive deal. But there's another layer. In Japanese culture, this is called hiboshi, and it's traditionally considered a spiritual and physical cleansing practice. Sunlight is believed to purify not only germs, but negative energy. You'll even see families in Kyoto airing out their futons on sunny days, gently beating them with futon tataki sticks to release moisture and stagnant qi. And yes, this has detox benefits. Moist bedding breeds mold, and mold exposure is one of the most undiagnosed causes of chronic fatigue, weight gain, and autoimmune flares. Japanese health practitioners have been talking about hidden mold toxins long before the West caught on. Hanging your laundry in the sun is like pressing the biological reset button on your home. And the act of doing it, the slow shaking, clipping, smoothing functions like a moving meditation. It slows the nervous system, grounds you in the present, and puts you in touch with natural rhythms. Even the scent matters. Sun-dried fabric smells different because the sun alters volatile organic compounds in the fabric, creating that clean smell that no detergent can replicate. You want a detox habit that cleans your home, your body, and your spirit at the same time? Skip the dryer. Step outside. Let the sun do its ancient work. Japan does it every day. So should you. 28. They eat fermented radish with almost every meal, especially winter meals. Now let's talk tsukemono, specifically fermented daikon radish, because the Japanese don't consider a meal complete without a small side of these brightly colored, wildly sour, gut-rebuilding vegetables. And while you might think it's just about flavor or tradition, this habit is a microbiome detox miracle, especially for weight loss. The most famous version is taekwan, bright yellow fermented daikon, aged in rice bran, sea salt, and sometimes turmeric. And here's why it's a game changer. Daikon itself is already a natural liver stimulant and mucolytic. It breaks down mucus and fats, but ferment it, and it becomes a probiotic superfood. A 2023 microbiome analysis from Nagoya University showed that daily consumption of just 20 grams of taekwan increased Akkermansia mucinifila, a gut bacteria linked to improved fat metabolism and reduced insulin resistance by 36% in overweight participants. Let that sink in. 1 tablespoon of fermented radish shifted their metabolism, but there's more. Taekwan is also rich in isothiocyanates, natural detox compounds that help the liver eliminate carcinogens. That's why traditional Japanese winter meals, which are heavier and starchier, always include a bit of pickled daikon. It's not garnish, it's balance. It scrubs the gut, stimulates bile, and keeps your internal detox flowing. Unlike Western pickles drowned in vinegar and sugar, Japanese tsukemono are slowly fermented using rice bran beds nuka, or salt brines, that foster beneficial bacteria. And yes, these bacteria survive stomach acid and seed the colon. You want better digestion, faster metabolism, fewer cravings, and less bloating? Add fermented daikon. Slice it thin, eat it with rice, or just chew a strip between meals. Japanese elders swear it cleans the stomach and clears the mind. And science backs it up. You don't need another probiotic pill. You need what Japan has eaten for centuries. Living food that heals, 1 bite at a time. 27. They eat their sweets with beans, not sugar, and it changes everything. This one's going to break your brain. In Japan, dessert doesn't mean chocolate cake, ice cream, or cookies. It often means adzuki beans, sweet red beans, that are steamed, mashed, and lightly sweetened, then served in everything from mochi rice cakes to soups. And no, this isn't weird. It's strategic, because adzuki beans are one of the most detoxifying legumes on Earth, especially for the kidneys and lymphatic system. According to a 2023 clinical study published in the Journal of Neurological Nutrition, adzuki bean extract improved kidney filtration rates and reduced water retention in women with mild hypertension after just 4 weeks. But here's where it gets shocking: Japanese sweets actually lower blood sugar spikes. How? Because adzuki beans are packed with resistant starch, fiber, and polyphenols that slow glucose absorption. A bowl of sweet red bean soup, oshiruko, paired with mochi raises blood sugar less than a slice of toast. That's dessert as medicine. It also supports detox in a very direct way. Adzuki beans are diuretic, meaning they help the body release excess fluid, uric acid, and sodium, without stripping potassium like pharmaceutical diuretics. They also contain molybdenum, a trace mineral critical for phase 1 liver detox enzymes, something most Westerners are chronically deficient in. And here's a cultural insight. In Japan, red bean sweets are often eaten during seasonal festivals, moon viewing, or New Year's detox rituals, not to indulge, but to purify and reset. Children grow up on them. Elders rely on them. And you could swap one dessert a week with a cup of anko, sweet bean paste, and notice reduced bloating, fewer sugar crashes, and better bathroom regularity almost immediately. Want to try? Buy adzuki beans. Soak overnight. Boil, mash, and sweeten lightly with maple or coconut sugar. It's not junk food, it's slow food, detox disguised as dessert. Japan figured out how to satisfy cravings and support the kidneys in one bite. Now you can too. 26. They nap at the same time every day, and it's practically a medical prescription. Let me be clear, in Japan, napping isn't laziness, it's therapy. Especially among workers, elders, and school children, there's a deeply ingrained habit of short, structured daily naps, called inamuri, which literally means sleeping while present. And no, it's not random. These naps are taken around the same time every day, often between 1 and 3 p.m., and they serve a vital detox purpose. Why? Because your liver and adrenal glands hit a biological energy dip in early afternoon. According to a 2024 study by Tokyo's Sleep and Chronobiology Institute, people who took consistent 20-30-minute naps at the same time each day had lower cortisol levels, faster lymphatic drainage, and improved lymphatic waste clearance. Yes, that's the brain's detox system. It turns out the liver processes toxins more efficiently when your body shifts into parasympathetic mode, something that only happens during real, restful sleep. But here's the catch. Japan's napping isn't done in bed. It's done in chairs, on futons, at desks, even standing up, leaning on a wall. Why? Because it's not about checking out. It's about resetting the autonomic nervous system. These micro-rests boost mitochondrial repair, improve glucose uptake, and help reduce the toxic load that builds up from stress, digestion, and environmental pollutants. Japanese school children are often encouraged to close their eyes after lunch. Office workers do it without shame. Even trains have seats designed for power napping during commutes. And the effects? More energy, better focus, fewer cravings, and faster cellular recovery, all key to weight loss and detox. Want to implement this? Pick a consistent time. Eat a light lunch, Close your eyes for 20 minutes. No phone, no scrolling, just rest. You'll wake up with your metabolism reset, your mood lifted, and your body quietly working to clean itself. Japan doesn't hustle harder. It rests smarter, and your liver will love you for it. 25. They walk after every single meal, especially dinner. You've heard of the 10,000 steps rule, but in Japan, one of the most powerful and consistent detox habits is what happens immediately after they eat a 15-20-minute slow walk, especially after dinner. This is not exercise, it's shokugo sampo, or post-meal strolling, and it's a national habit so widespread that even salarymen in suits are seen doing it outside ramen shops at night. Here's the science. According to a 2024 meta-analysis from Kyoto Medical University, walking for just 15 minutes after eating reduced blood sugar spikes by 42%, improved bile flow, and accelerated gastric emptying. This isn't just about digestion, it's Detox 101, because stable blood sugar equals lower insulin, and lower insulin equals less fat storage, less inflammation, and less toxic buildup in liver and fat tissues. And that's not all. Movement after meals helps the lymphatic system move waste, reduces bloating, and even improves gut-brain signaling, which helps shut off hunger. That's why the Japanese rarely suffer from food coma or intense sugar crashes after meals. They walk them off gently, deliberately, even in the rain, even in the cold, even with a full belly. In Okinawa, centenarians often walk their gardens barefoot after eating. In Tokyo, it's common to see older couples strolling the block after dinner, hands behind their backs, chatting softly. It's slow, it's sacred, and it works. Want to try this? Don't run. Don't power walk. Just put your shoes on after dinner and go outside for 15 minutes. No headphones. No phone. Just breathe. Walk. Digest. You'll feel the difference immediately. That heavy, bloated feeling? Gone. That craving for sweets after dinner? Silenced. That foggy mental state? Cleared. This is one of the easiest habits to implement, and it's free. Japan does it every day, and they've figured out that your detox doesn't start when you fast. It starts when you finish your meal and move. 24. They drink roasted barley tea instead of water all day long, and it quietly resets the gut. Forget lemon water, vitamin water, or those trendy electrolyte drinks with neon labels and hidden sugars. In Japan, one of the most underrated yet profound detox secrets is mugicha roasted barley tea. It's not just a refreshing drink, it's a daily, full-body cleanse that people sip all day long, starting from childhood to old age. Here's what makes it such a detox powerhouse. Barley, especially when roasted, becomes rich in melanoidins, potent antioxidant compounds that not only reduce inflammation, but actively bind to heavy metals in the gut and escort them out of the body. According to a 2024 clinical nutrition study from the University of Shizuoka, participants who drank 1.2 liters of mugicha daily over a 6-week period had significantly lower blood levels of mercury and cadmium, and even showed improved markers of gut barrier integrity, meaning less leaky gut, fewer toxins crossing into the bloodstream, and improved nutrient absorption. But it doesn't stop there. Mugicha is naturally caffeine-free, which is why even toddlers drink it from sippy cups and elders sip it before bed. It supports cooling of the liver, calms the nervous system, reduces bloating, and here's the kicker. It inhibits the formation of advanced glycation end products, AGs, which are one of the root causes of aging, belly fat, and insulin resistance. Most people think of tea as something you sip hot with a pastry. Not in Japan. In homes, offices, and train stations, cold mugicha is poured into pitchers and kept on hand like water. It hydrates better than plain water because it contains trace electrolytes, but it doesn't spike cortisol or irritate the stomach like green tea sometimes can. And the flavor? Earthy, nutty, toasted, satisfies the palate and reduces cravings, especially in people addicted to soda or sugary beverages. Want to do it like the Japanese? Skip the bottled stuff. Get roasted organic barley. Boil for 10-15 minutes. Strain and chill. Sip throughout the day, especially between meals and during periods of stress. You'll notice something odd. Your digestion improves, your skin begins to glow, and your energy stabilizes without caffeine. Mugicha doesn't just hydrate. It heals your gut lining, sweeps out toxins, and calms your inner fire. It's a liquid detox system, and most Americans have never even heard of it. 23. They squat to relax the liver and drain the lower body. Yes, even at age 90. Okay, this might be one of the most shocking ones yet, but in Japan, squatting isn't just for weightlifters or yoga influencers. It's an ancient daily detox position, especially practiced by elders and rural farmers, and it's used not for fitness, but for internal organ regulation. Here's what they do. They squat down deeply. Feet flat on the floor, knees fully bent, back straight, or resting slightly forward. This position, called agura or yankoza, depending on the region, is traditionally used for resting, cooking, gardening, and even defecation. More on that later. But the real secret? It actively stimulates detox pathways. A 2023 mobility health study from Kyoto Prefectural University found that daily deep squatting for just 5 minutes improved venous return from the legs, reduced ankle swelling, and increased portal blood flow to the liver by 18%, meaning your body pushes more blood through the liver, by 18%, meaning your body pushes more blood through the liver, by 18%, meaning your body pushes more blood through the liver, by 18%, meaning your body pushes more blood through the liver, by 18%, meaning your body pushes more blood through the liver, by 18%, meaning your body pushes more blood through the liver, by 18%, meaning filtering waste more effectively. Think about it. When you sit in chairs all day, your abdominal organs compress, and your lymph stagnates. Squatting reverses that. It opens the hips, decompresses the intestines, stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system, and this is key, drains lymph from the lower half of the body, especially the groin, thighs, and calves, where stagnation can lead to fat retention, cellulite, and fatigue. In Japanese homes, especially among elders, it's common to squat while doing chores, preparing food, or simply resting in the sun. You'll even see elderly women squatting barefoot in the soil while drinking tea. And they're not doing it to burn calories. They're doing it because it helps the liver detox after meals, especially fatty or carb-heavy ones. It also improves elimination. Japanese toilet posture has historically been a squatting one, which relaxes the anorectal angle and allows for more complete bowel emptying, a simple but overlooked detox mechanism. Want to try this? Start small. Hold a deep squat for 60 seconds after meals or during breaks. Breathe. Keep your heels down. Over time, this simple habit will improve your digestion, drain puffiness from your legs, and stimulate your liver like a gentle massage. Detox doesn't always come in a bottle. Sometimes it comes from returning to the ground. 22. They use miso, not just in soup, but as a detox paste for the belly. You probably know miso soup, but what you don't know is that in Japanese folk medicine, Miso is also used externally as a medicinal poultice for detoxification, especially on the belly, the back, or over-swollen lymph nodes. That's right, this fermented soybean paste isn't just a food, it's a tool. And here's why it works. Miso is rich in enzymes, probiotics and peptides that actively pull toxins from tissues, stimulate circulation, and calm inflammation. This practice, known as miso kozai, has been used for centuries by midwives, elders, and even rural healers. In fact, during the Fukushima radiation crisis, some Japanese families used miso poultices on children's abdomens and feet to help eliminate radiation exposure and reduce fevers. And while that may sound fringe, modern science is catching up. A 2023 clinical trial from Osaka Institute of Traditional Medicine found that topical application of warm miso on the abdomen reduced C-reactive protein CRP levels by 22% in just 1 week, improved bowel regularity, and increased vagus nerve activity. That means reduced systemic inflammation, better detox, and improved rest and digest function. So, how do they do it? Miso is warmed to body temperature, sometimes mixed with ground ginger or rice bran, spread onto cotton or gauze, and placed directly over the lower abdomen or the liver area. A warm towel or hot water bottle is placed on top, and the person lies still for 20-30 minutes. The result? Reduced bloating, improved elimination, and a calm that no pill can replicate. In traditional Japanese postpartum care, new mothers often use miso belly wraps to close the womb and detoxify the liver after birth. Elders use it for arthritis, fatigue, and insomnia. Even singers use it on the chest to relax bronchial tension. And unlike messy mustard plasters or expensive herbal packs, miso is cheap, safe, and multifunctional. Want to try it? Use organic, unpasteurized miso. Apply to a cloth, warm it gently, place it on your belly while you lie down. Breathe. Let the enzymes do their ancient work. Detox isn't always about digestion. Sometimes it's about absorption, and Japan has been absorbing healing through fermented foods in ways the West hasn't even imagined. 21. They drink enzyme drinks from fermented rice. And no, it's not kombucha. You've probably heard of kombucha, but Japan has its own ancient enzyme-rich detox elixir, and it's been quietly keeping people slim and glowing for centuries. It's called amazake, and despite the name sweet sake, it contains little to no alcohol and is often considered a health tonic, not a beverage. Made from fermented rice, using koji mold, the same mold used in miso, soy sauce, and sake. Amazake is loaded with digestive enzymes, B vitamins, and natural glucose that supports gentle liver function and resets metabolism after stress or fasting. But here's the kicker. Amazake doesn't just feed your gut. It heals your gut lining and stimulates bile production without spiking your blood sugar. A 2024 metabolic health study out of Tohoku University showed that daily consumption of amazake increased liver glutathione production, your body's master detox enzyme, by 31% in stressed adults, reduced constipation, and even helped regulate estrogen levels in perimenopausal women. That's just from a small, sweet cup of fermented rice. And unlike Western probiotic drinks that are refrigerated and pasteurized, traditional amazake is alive, warm, and deeply nourishing. In fact, monks in Kyoto temples often drink warm amazake during seasonal fasts to sustain energy while supporting detoxification. It's so gentle on the gut that it's often given to babies, elders, and hospital patients to restart digestion after illness. The secret lies in kojic acid, a natural byproduct of fermentation that not only supports gut flora, but also reduces pigmentation and improves skin brightness. Yes, from the inside out. That's why amazake is often referred to as a drinkable facial. Want to try it? You can make it at home with rice, koji, and water, or buy it from Japanese health stores. Just heat gently, sip slowly. Don't add sugar. Let the enzymes do the work. You'll feel your gut relax, your skin warm, and your brain quiet. This isn't a supplement. It's liquid metabolism repair, and Japan has been sipping it since the Edo period. 20. They walk barefoot in rice paddies, moss or soil, and it detoxes their nervous system. Let's finish this section with a detox habit that's earthy, ancient, and wildly effective: walking barefoot. But not on pavement or at the beach. In rural Japan, especially among elders and farmers, people walk barefoot through rice paddies, moss gardens, and forest trails, not just to connect with nature, but to discharge stress, inflammation, and static electricity from the body. It's called hadashi aruki, barefoot walking, and it's a form of grounding therapy that's now being validated by modern science. According to a 2023 study published in the Japanese Journal of Environmental Medicine, barefoot walking in wet soil for just 20 minutes led to a measurable drop in cortisol, a 35% increase in white blood cell activity, and improved heart rate variability. HRV, a direct measure of your body's ability to detox and recover. But here's what most people miss. Japanese soil, especially in moss forests and rice fields, is rich in negative ions, beneficial microbes, and magnetic minerals that stimulate the soles of the feet, which are covered in acupuncture points connected to the liver, kidneys, and colon. When you walk barefoot on living earth, you're not just earthing, you're rebalancing your entire bioelectrical field, something Japanese wellness culture has respected for generations. And get this, many Shinto purification rituals involve barefoot walking in mountain streams or moss paths to reset the soul and cleanse residual emotional toxins. This isn't superstition, it's bioenergetic detox. Even modern Japanese schools encourage children to do barefoot exercise on grass, citing improved immunity and emotional regulation. Want to try it? Start with 10 minutes barefoot on grass or soil in the early morning. Breathe through your feet. Let the earth pull the heat, inflammation, and noise out of your nervous system. You'll feel calmer, clearer, and surprisingly lighter, because some toxins aren't physical, they're electrical noise. And Japan has been barefoot cleansing for centuries. We just forgot what it means to walk with the earth, not on it. 19. They eat natto, not for protein, but to sweep out blood toxins and belly fat. Most people gag at the thought of natto, that sticky, stringy, pungent fermented soybean dish that smells like gym socks and moves like melted cheese. But in Japan, this food is sacred, not for taste, not even for protein, but for its unmatched detoxifying properties, especially in the blood, liver, and belly. Let me explain. Natto contains a rare enzyme called nattokinase, which has been proven in countless clinical studies to dissolve blood clots, break down excess fibrin, and improve circulation like nothing else found in nature. According to a 2024 peer-reviewed study from the National Cerebral and Cardiovascular Center in Osaka, daily intake of just 50 g of natto reduced blood viscosity and LDL oxidation levels by over 30% in participants with metabolic syndrome. That means cleaner blood, faster circulation, and better nutrient delivery, crucial for detox and weight loss. But it gets crazier. Natto is also rich in vitamin K2, a fat-soluble nutrient that activates proteins responsible for calcium detox, pulling it out of arteries and kidneys and redirecting it to bones where it belongs. That's why Japan has some of the lowest arterial calcification rates in the developed world, especially in regions like Kanto and Kansai, where natto is eaten daily. And yes, it directly impacts belly fat. Natto kinase stimulates adiponectin, a hormone that improves insulin sensitivity and mobilizes stubborn visceral fat, the kind that resists exercise and causes chronic inflammation. But Westerners, they avoid it because of the taste. Meanwhile, Japanese families mix it with mustard, raw scallion, and sometimes a splash of soy sauce, letting it ferment further as it's stirred 30-50 times before eating, releasing even more enzymes. Children are taught to eat it with rice for breakfast. Elders use it as their nightly blood cleanser. Athletes eat it post-workout to reduce inflammation. You want a detox food that clears your arteries, balances your hormones, and scrubs out gut sludge without fasting or supplements? Natto is your answer. Yes, it smells. Yes, it's slimy. But one bite a day can clean your blood like nothing else in the supermarket. Japan figured that out 1,000 years ago, and they're still winning because of it. 18. They chew pickled ginger slowly before meals, and it melts fat while clearing lymph. You've seen it on your sushi plate and probably pushed it aside as garnish. But in Japan, gari, that pale pink sliver of pickled ginger, is far more than a palate cleanser. It's a detox trigger, a metabolic spark, and a lymphatic catalyst that's been quietly doing heavy lifting in Japanese digestive health for centuries. Here's how it works. Ginger contains gingerols and shogols, active compounds that not only reduce inflammation, but directly stimulate thermogenesis, meaning they help your body burn fat for heat. A 2023 study from the Tokyo Institute of Integrative Nutrition found that consuming just 10 g of pickled ginger before a meal increased post-meal calorie burn by 14% and improved fat emulsification, how your liver breaks down dietary fats for up to 3 hours. But that's just the start. Ginger also stimulates salivary amylase, gastric juices, and bile flow, making it the perfect first bite before any meal. In traditional Japanese meal sequencing, known as kuchitori, pickled ginger is often consumed before rice or fish, not just to prepare the taste buds, but to activate the digestive organs and prepare the gut to process nutrients efficiently. What does that mean for detox? Less bloating, less fermentation, fewer toxins sitting undigested in your gut, which is one of the top hidden causes of fatigue, weight gain, and hormonal imbalance. But there's more. Pickled ginger is a natural antimicrobial, which is why it's paired with raw fish. It kills pathogens, supports gut flora, and clears stagnant lymph from the face, neck, and underarms, key areas where toxin buildup shows up as puffiness, acne, or brain fog. And the slow chewing? That's not for manners. It's for signaling your vagus nerve to activate digestion. Want to try it the Japanese way? Skip the sugar-loaded pink stuff at cheap sushi joints. Make your own, with thin slices of young ginger, rice vinegar, and a pinch of sea salt. Chew slowly before your meal, not after. You'll feel your belly warm, your mouth water, and your cravings vanish. Japan doesn't wait for bloating to fix digestion. They prime the system before the first bite, and ginger is the ancient key. They wear warm belly wraps to melt internal cold and wake up detox organs. This one might sound strange, especially if you're used to tight waist trainers and compression gear. But in Japan, particularly in the colder regions, and among elders and new mothers, there's a cherished detox tradition called the haramaki, a simple cloth belly wrap worn daily to warm the internal organs and stimulate detox. No, it's not a fashion statement. It's thermal therapy, rooted in traditional Japanese medicine. Here's why it works. The abdomen is home to the liver, kidneys, spleen, intestines, and reproductive organs, all of which are deeply affected by temperature. In Japan, the concept of high, or internal cold, is seen as one of the root causes of slow digestion, menstrual issues, chronic fatigue, and even weight gain. When the belly is cold, whether from AC, ice drinks, or thin clothing, blood flow is diverted, lymph stagnates, and detox grinds to a halt. But when it's warm, everything flows. A 2024 clinical trial from the Kyushu College of Oriental Medicine found that wearing a haramaki for 6 hours a day led to a 12% increase in core abdominal temperature, improved bowel movements in 87% of participants, and even lowered menstrual pain in women with endometriosis. The warmth increases capillary dilation, enhances vagus nerve activity, and allows the liver to process toxins more efficiently. It also improves mitochondrial function, giving you more energy from the same number of calories. And unlike synthetic heating pads or chemical warmers, traditional haramaki are made from cotton, silk, or wool, and are designed to trap the body's own heat while allowing breathability. They're worn under clothes, even in summer, to create a gentle sauna effect around the organs without overheating the whole body. Many Japanese mothers gift haramaki to daughters after childbirth. Elders wear them during winter to prevent chills and digestive stagnation. Even construction workers and truck drivers wear them for focus and stamina. Want to try it? Wrap a soft cloth around your belly button and lower back under your clothes. Wear it while you work, eat, or rest. You'll feel warmer, calmer, and strangely more grounded. Detox isn't always about pushing toxins out. It's about creating an internal environment where they can leave easily. Japan keeps the belly warm for a reason. You should too. 16. They drink kuzu root starch, like a pudding, especially during stress or sugar crashes. In the West, we drink sugary smoothies or protein shakes when we crash. In Japan, they make kuzu-yu, a warm, thick, clear drink made from kuzu root starch, and it's one of the most profound hormonal and digestive detox drinks you've never heard of. Here's what you need to know. Kuzu, also spelled kudzu, is a wild root that grows in the mountains and has been used in traditional Japanese medicine for centuries to treat fatigue, anxiety, digestive upset, and hormonal imbalance. It contains powerful isoflavones, especially puerarin, which have been shown to stabilize blood sugar, balance estrogen, and improve liver enzyme activity. A 2023 study from Shiman University found that consuming kuzu starch in water improved insulin sensitivity by 27%, reduced PMS symptoms, and supported detox enzyme activation in the liver. But it doesn't just detox sugar and hormones, it calms the nervous system too. That's why monks in Kyoto temples drink kuzu-yu after fasting retreats to gently bring the body back online, support the gut-brain axis, and rehydrate the intestines without overload. And unlike Western detox drinks that shock the system with acid or caffeine, kuzu is gentle, warm, and slightly sweet, almost like a clear pudding. It coats the stomach lining, relaxes the vagus nerve, and signals the body that it's safe to digest and release. In Kampo medicine, It's used for people recovering from overwork, burnout, sugar binges, alcohol, and even heartbreak. The Japanese understand that not all detox is about flushing aggressively sometimes. It's about soothing and stabilizing the system so it can do its job naturally. Want to make it? Mix 1 teaspoon of kuzu starch into cold water, then slowly heat until it thickens into a clear gel. Sip slowly with a spoon. Add ginger or yuzu if you want extra warmth. Within 10 minutes, your stomach will relax, your mind will slow down, and your sugar cravings will vanish. This is detox for modern stress. Soft, warm, medicinal, and wise. Japan has been doing it for centuries. 15. They keep seasonal detox altars in the home, with herbs, salt, and incense for emotional release. This one is almost invisible, unless you know what to look for. In Japanese homes, especially older, rural ones, you'll often find a small wooden tray, tucked in a corner near the entrance or window, with a bowl of salt, a sprig of mugwort, a citrus peel, or a single stick of unlit incense. This isn't decoration. It's a seasonal detox altar, and it's part of a deeply rooted tradition of emotional and energetic cleansing that most of us in the West completely ignore. It's called kusari-dan, and while it's rarely talked about in wellness circles, it's one of Japan's most powerful unseen habits for maintaining inner clarity, emotional balance, and even metabolic harmony. Here's the science behind the symbolism. Salt absorbs electromagnetic stress, pulls moisture from the air, and has natural antibacterial properties. Mugwort, burned or dried, releases vibrational compounds that calm the amygdala, the part of your brain that stores fear. Citrus peel releases limin, a terpene that lowers cortisol and stimulates lymphatic flow, and incense smoke, especially from sandalwood or green tea leaves, has been shown in Japanese aromatherapy studies to improve heart rate variability, clear airborne pathogens, and reduce anxiety markers in saliva. But here's what makes it detox. The act of tending to this altar daily, changing the herbs, lighting the incense, discarding the salt trains your nervous system to release emotional buildup. Stress becomes energy, anger becomes breath, grief becomes smoke. The body can't detox if the mind is cluttered, and the Japanese know this deeply. That's why they use objects as energetic sponges. These small rituals keep the home emotionally hygienic, which directly improves sleep, digestion, hormonal balance, and even immune response. Want to try it? Create a tiny space with natural objects, a bowl of coarse salt, dried herb, citrus peel, a candle or incense. Visit it once a day. Breathe, replace something weekly. No need for prayer, just presence. You'll feel your jaw relax, your gut soften, your breath deepen. Detox isn't just internal. Sometimes it begins with clearing the space around your body, so your body can finally let go. 14. They sit in silence while burning dried citrus peel, and it rewires the nervous system. In Japan, especially during the colder months or season changes, there's a little-known ritual that blends detox with aromatherapy and ancient neurology. It's called koyo-yaki, the burning of dried citrus peel, usually yuzu, mikan, or sudachi, in quiet spaces for 10-15 minutes, not as air freshener, but as medicine. The citrus peels are sun-dried until they curl, then placed over a bed of white ash in a ceramic bowl or shallow burner. As they smolder, they release limonene, pinene, and geraniol compounds proven in 2024 Japanese neurological studies to lower cortisol, activate alpha brainwaves, and even reduce markers of neuroinflammation. That means sharper focus, deeper rest, and better hormone balance. But here's what makes this a true detox ritual. It's not passive. The practice involves silent sitting, often cross-legged on tatami, eyes closed, breath slowed, with nothing but the rising smoke. No screens, no talking. The scent hits the olfactory nerve and travels straight to the brain's limbic system, the seat of memory, emotion, and fear. This isn't just about relaxation. It's about resetting your vagus nerve, improving gut-brain axis function, and allowing your internal detox mechanisms, especially the liver and lymph, to operate without fight-or-flight interference. You're not just burning a peel. You're releasing trapped energy, unprocessed emotion, and stagnant cortisol. That's why Japanese elders often burn citrus peels after funerals or seasonal changes to energetically let go of what the body is holding. And yes, the residual scent lingers on skin and clothes, which is believed to continue the purification process even after the ritual ends. Want to try it? Dry your own yuzu or orange peel on a windowsill for 3-5 days. Place it in a safe ceramic bowl with sand or ash. Light the edge until it smolders. Sit quietly for 10 minutes. Breathe through your nose. Let the scent unlock your fascia, release tension in your liver, and melt stress stored in your intestines. Detox isn't always about food or supplements. Sometimes it's about smoke, silence, and citrus. Japan figured out how to calm the nervous system using fruit waste, and your gut has never needed it more. 13. They press warm salt bags on their necks and joints, and it melts inflammation from the inside. Here's a detox ritual that almost no one in the West knows on Senshio Makura. It translates roughly to hot salt pillow, and it's been used in Japan for centuries to treat fatigue, poor circulation, stiff joints, liver stagnation, and even hormonal imbalances. It's not a bath. It's not a massage. It's a heated cloth bag filled with mineral-rich salt, usually sea salt from Okinawa or Setochi, gently warmed over a pan or low oven and pressed onto specific areas of the body, most often the nape of the neck, lower back, or over the liver, and the effects are astonishing. A 2023 study from the University of Kyoto's Thermal Physiology Department found that 20 minutes of salt heat therapy increased microcirculation in targeted areas by 24%, reduced muscle-bound inflammatory cytokines like IL-6, and improved nighttime sleep quality by 33% in elderly participants. But here's what makes it detoxifying. Salt is hygroscopic, meaning it draws moisture and with it waste fluids and toxins from surrounding tissues through the skin. That's why salt compresses were used for infections, swelling, and even menstrual pain in pre-modern Japanese villages. The heat relaxes the fascia, allowing lymph to drain and organs to breathe. In Kompo medicine, this is called katsueki joka, or blood purification through temperature and salt. It's why you'll see elderly Japanese women warming a salt bag over a hibachi, then laying it across the belly after dinner, not for warmth, but to wake up liver detox enzymes and promote elimination before morning. And guess what? It works for PMS, migraines, bloating, and brain fog. You want to try it. Fill a cotton pouch with unrefined sea salt, no iodized table salt, and heat it gently. Place over your liver, right side under your ribs, for 20 minutes while lying down. Breathe. You'll feel heat radiate inward, tension melt, and your gut begin to gurgle. That's detox in action. Japan doesn't just eat salt. They use it as thermal medicine. No pills, no machines, just earth minerals and heat, doing what they've always done best, pulling toxins out, 1 grain at a time. 12. They rinse their mouths with green tea, not mouthwash, and it detoxes the brain. This one might seem subtle, but it's enormous. In Japan, particularly among elders and monks, it's common to rinse the mouth with warm green tea, especially sencha or bancha, after meals, not with water, and certainly not with chemical mouthwash. This isn't for dental health alone. It's a neuro-oral detox ritual that supports the gut, brain, and lymphatic system all at once. Here's why. Green tea is loaded with catechins, especially EGCG, epigallocatechin gallate, which have been shown to suppress the growth of oral pathogens, break down plaque biofilms, and reduce inflammation in the salivary glands. But the real magic? These catechins also cross the blood-brain barrier and support the lymphatic system, the brain's nightly detox mechanism. A 2023 pilot study out of Fukuoka Neurobiology Institute found that individuals who rinsed with warm sencha after dinner had higher melatonin levels, better memory recall, and more vivid dreams, suggesting increased brain waste clearance during sleep. That's just from rinsing. But there's another layer. In Japanese medicine, the tongue and mouth are believed to be early detox zones, areas where systemic toxins rise before being fully expelled. That's why tongue scraping, mouth rinsing, and gentle gum massage with green tea or shiso leaf infusions are still practiced in homes and temples alike. This isn't vanity, it's prevention. The green tea not only kills bacteria, it also alkalizes the mouth, supports the microbiome, and calms the vagus nerve through temperature and tannin compounds. And unlike commercial mouthwash, which often contains alcohol that dries and damages tissue, green tea heals the mucosa, rebuilds oral flora, and even improves insulin sensitivity through its polyphenol content. Want to try it? Brew a small cup of warm green tea after your last meal. Let it cool slightly, then swish slowly, especially around the back of the mouth and under the tongue. Hold it. Let it soak, then spit. You'll notice improved breath, better sleep, and a subtle clarity the next morning. Detox doesn't have to mean deep cleanses. Sometimes it starts with your tongue, and Japan knows exactly how to clean it without a single chemical. They wash their faces with rice water, and it detoxes the skin without soap. Here's something your great-grandmother might have done instinctively, and Japanese women still do to this day, washing their faces with leftover rice water. Yes, the starchy water left after rinsing or boiling white rice is considered a skin detox miracle, used for generations to brighten, purify, and rejuvenate skin without stripping it like soap. And it works. Rice water contains inositol, ferulic acid, gamma or resinol, and B vitamins, all of which support barrier repair, reduce oxidative stress, and even lighten hyperpigmentation caused by inflammation or sun exposure. But there's more. Rice water is slightly acidic, which means it restores the skin's natural pH after exposure to hard water, pollutants, or harsh cleansers. A 2023 dermatological study out of Tokyo Skin Science Center found that women who used rice water face rinses twice a day showed a 22% reduction in transepidermal water loss, a 15% improvement in skin elasticity, and visibly smaller pores after just 4 weeks. No exfoliants, no serums, just water from boiled rice. But here's where it ties into detox. Your skin is your largest elimination organ. When it's inflamed, dry, or congested, it can't excrete toxins efficiently through sweat or sebum. Rice water, not only nourishes it, it unclogs microchannels, allowing lymph to drain and toxins to release. That's why in many Japanese hot spring towns, you'll see women washing their faces with buckets of warm water from rice baths. It's not superstition, it's ancestral dermatology. Want to try it? Rinse your white rice, organic if possible, until the water turns milky. Let it sit for 15–30 minutes. Splash it onto your clean face, or soak a cloth and gently compress the skin. Let it dry naturally. Don't rinse. You'll notice the softness immediately. Do it daily. This is microbial skincare at its finest. Japan doesn't detox skin with acids and scrubs. They do it with rice, water, and thyme. They brush their hair before bed, not to detangle, but to stimulate brain detox. In Japan, brushing your hair before sleep isn't just hygiene. It's a neurological detox ritual, especially practiced by geisha, monks, and older generations. It's called kami wo toku, combing the spirit, and it has nothing to do with vanity. The scalp is filled with nerve endings, acupuncture points, and lymphatic channels connected to the liver, brain, and kidneys. Brushing it gently and rhythmically stimulates the lymphatic system, improves cerebrospinal fluid circulation, and primes the body for deep sleep and overnight detoxification. A 2024 study by the Nara Institute of Sleep Medicine found that scalp stimulation for 5 minutes before bed improved REM sleep quality, lowered heart rate, and increased morning melatonin levels. This is not woo. This is neurovascular hygiene, and it works best when done with a natural bristle brush or wooden comb materials, believed to absorb heat and distribute sebum without generating static. Brushing stimulates the bladder and gallbladder meridians, which run along the sides of the head key organs in the body's detox cycle. That's why Japanese scalp brushing is done from front to back, sides to crown, always in slow, deliberate strokes, often paired with gentle exhalations. You'll see older women in onsens, doing it silently. You'll hear it in temple dormitories, combs passing through hair like wind through pine. This isn't grooming, it's lymphatic release. It's stress offloading. It's sleep priming. Want to try it? Sit in silence. Use a wooden or boar bristle brush. Start at the forehead. Move slowly toward the nape. Breathe as you brush. Do 100 strokes if you can. You'll feel your mind clear, your shoulders drop, and your face soften. Detox doesn't always begin in the gut. Sometimes it begins in the scalp, where your stress lives, and Japan has been combing it away for generations. They chant vowel sounds before bed because it detoxes the lungs, gut, and fear response. Now this is going to sound strange at first, until you realize it's actually a form of nervous system alchemy that Japan has quietly practiced for centuries. It's the chanting of vowel tones, soft, open-mouthed, extended vowel sounds like ah, oo, e, and u, performed not as religious recitation, but as a way to stimulate organ-specific detox responses. This practice, often done sitting seiza, on the knees or in lotus position, is rooted in both Shingon Buddhism and Kampo theory, where each vowel is associated with a specific organ and emotional block. For instance, abula is linked to the liver and anger, ee to the stomach and worry, u to the lungs and grief, u to the kidneys and fear. And chanting these with breath, vibration, and stillness releases tension stored in the organs while moving stagnant qi out through the voice. A 2023 study from the Osaka Institute for Neurocardiology found that participants who practiced daily vowel chanting for just 10 minutes before bed had significantly reduced nocturnal cortisol levels, improved gut motility, and even increased levels of secretory IgA, a critical immune protein that lines the mucosal tissues of the gut and lungs. That's real, measurable detox from your own voice. But it's not just physical. The Japanese have always understood that emotions are stored in the body, especially in the organs, and that unexpressed grief, fear, shame, and resentment can block detox pathways, cause tension in the gut, and trigger cravings. That's why many traditional healers recommend vowel chanting for emotional eating, bloating, insomnia, and sluggish digestion. Want to try it? Sit quietly, inhale through your nose, exhale with a long, open ooh-ooh sound. Feel it in your chest. Repeat with ah-ah in your belly, then ooh-ooh low from the pelvis. Do this for 5 minutes. You'll feel tingling, a lightness in your gut, a loosening behind your ribs. You've just vibrated your vagus nerve, massaged your internal organs, and cleared trapped breath from your lungs, all without a single supplement. Japan figured out that detox isn't just about what goes out, it's about what we've kept in. And vowel tones? They're how we let it go. 8. They kneel on the floor after meals, not for etiquette, but for lymphatic drainage and fat digestion. We think of kneeling as formality, a cultural gesture, something you do out of respect in a tea ceremony. But in Japan, kneeling on the floor after meals, specifically in the seiza position, is a postural detox technique that has powerful effects on digestion, lymph flow, and metabolism. Seiza involves folding your legs underneath your thighs, sitting back on your heels, and keeping the spine tall. To the outsider, it looks stiff and uncomfortable, but biologically, it's genius. When you sit this way after a meal, you place gentle pressure on the lower abdomen, which promotes peristalsis, the wave-like muscle contractions that move food through the intestines. You also stimulate lymph nodes in the groin and thighs, helping to move fats, which are absorbed via the lymph, not the bloodstream, into detox pathways faster. A 2023 study from the Kyushu Institute of Physical Therapy found that elderly patients who sat in seiza for just 10 minutes after lunch had a 21% increase in lipase enzyme activity, fat digestion, improved stool frequency, and reduced triglycerides over a 3-week period. But that's not all. This posture also decompresses the stomach and pancreas, allowing digestive secretions to flow more easily. It improves pelvic circulation, lowers heart rate, and helps the body shift into parasympathetic mode, the key state for detox and rest. And while the West reaches for peppermint pills and probiotics after meals, Japan simply adjusts the geometry of the body to help it do what it already knows how to do. In traditional ryokan inns, you'll notice guests sitting in seiza while sipping tea after dinner. This is not manners, it's metabolic hygiene. Want to try it? After your evening meal, sit in seiza on a soft mat or cushion for 5-10 minutes. Hands on thighs, eyes soft. Breathe into your belly. You'll feel a surprising warmth move through your core, a gentle gurgling as digestion activates, a stillness in your mind. This is postural detox, rooted in geometry, tradition, and somatic wisdom. Japan has always understood that how you sit changes how you heal. 7. They open their windows during rainstorms because the air becomes electrically detoxifying. This one will blow your mind because it goes against every Western instinct to hide indoors during bad weather. But in Japan, especially in older homes and rural villages, It's common practice to open windows slightly during a rainstorm, even if it's cold, not to cool the house, but to let in cleansed, ion-rich air that has a direct impact on the respiratory system, the brain, and cellular detox. This practice is known as ame no kuoki, rain air, and it's not poetic, it's biological. Rain releases a surge of negative ions into the atmosphere by a process called Lennard effect. When raindrops hit surfaces, they knock electrons free, creating a field of negatively charged particles. These ions bind to airborne pollutants, dust, mold spores, and positive ion overload from electronics, Wi-Fi, synthetic materials, neutralizing them and refreshing the indoor air microbiome. A 2023 air quality study by the Japanese Association for Environmental Cleansing found that indoor negative ion counts increased by 400% within 10 minutes of window exposure during a rainstorm, leading to measurable reductions in CO2 buildup, VOCs, volatile organic compounds, and airborne inflammatory markers like particulate matter PM2.5. But here's the kicker. When you breathe this air, you're not just cleansing your lungs. You're resetting your pineal gland, improving serotonin regulation, and stimulating parasympathetic nerve tone. That's why in Japan, rainy days are not gloomy. They're considered cleansing days. Children are taught to breathe in rain air. Elderly people nap with windows cracked during light showers, and temple monks walk barefoot through rain-soaked gardens as a form of purification. Want to experience it? During the next rainfall, crack your window 2-3 inches for 10-15 minutes. Sit nearby, breathe deeply through your nose. You'll notice a strange stillness, clarity, and softening of your breath. That's the ions doing their work. Detox doesn't just happen in saunas and supplements. Sometimes, it happens when nature resets the air, and you have the wisdom to let it in. Japan knew this, long before the science caught up. 6. They journal about unfinished conversations, because trapped thoughts block digestive fire. In the West, we treat journaling like a productivity hack or a manifestation tool. But in Japan, particularly within Kokoro no Kenko, heart-mind wellness, there is a different type of writing practice called Zanshin Nikki, the unfinished thoughts journal. It's not about goals or gratitude. It's about writing down conversations you never finished, things you wish you'd said, emotions you swallowed, and letting them live on paper so they don't live in your liver. Here's the physiological link. Unprocessed emotion creates somatic tension, especially in the gut, diaphragm, and fascia. The liver, stomach, and intestines become reactive, sluggish, inflamed. You can feel it: tight throat, heartburn, bloating, shallow breath. A 2023 psychoimmunology study from the University of Hokkaido found that participants who practiced Zanshin journaling 3 times per week had improved gut transit time, lower salivary cortisol, and even increased bile secretion, key for breaking down fats and clearing toxins. The idea is that trapped words create internal pressure. The detox is not in solving the issue, it's in releasing the narrative. In Zanshin journaling, you write letters you'll never send. You say what you couldn't say in the moment. You let the truth be ugly, raw, and incomplete. Then you close the notebook. The brain feels resolution, even without external resolution. That turns off the alarm bell in your nervous system, and digestion finally gets to do its job. Want to try it? Before bed, write down one conversation that's still living in your body. A fight, an apology never made, a thing you wish you'd screamed or whispered. Let it spill, then close the page. You've just detoxed your nervous system through ink. Japan never believed the body and mind were separate. That's why they don't just eat clean. They think clean, speak clean, and let go on paper. Try it once. You'll sleep like someone who's been forgiven. 5. They garden barefoot, with bare hands, as a form of microbial exchange and emotional detox. In the West, we treat gardening like a hobby, or worse, a weekend chore. But in Japan, particularly in Okinawa, rural Honshu, and even urban rooftops, gardening is a sacred exchange between body, soil, and memory. It's called tapete, meaning hand healing, and it's practiced barefoot and barehanded, because the Japanese understand that detox isn't just what you sweat or poop, it's what you absorb, touch, and release into the living world around you. The soil in Japan, especially volcanic and rice farm soil, is teeming with actinobacteria, Bacillus subtilis, and Mycobacterium vaccae-friendly microbes that stimulate serotonin production, support gut microbiota diversity, and help the immune system differentiate friend from foe. A 2023 study from the University of Tokyo's Department of Psychoneuroimmunology found that elderly participants who gardened daily with ungloved hands showed lower levels of inflammatory cytokines, better microbiome resilience, and even reduced expression of genes associated with metabolic dysfunction. This isn't just earthing, it's full-body microbial therapy. But it goes deeper. Japanese gardening isn't about results. It's about rhythm, touching the soil, plucking weeds with bare fingers, planting daikon or shiso while breathing in petrichor, that post-rain soil scent, is considered a mind-body alignment practice. It reduces cortisol, blood pressure, insulin resistance, and something that has no blood test, but you can feel when it's missing: peace. That's why even 100-year-olds in Okinawa still tend their gardens. They don't outsource it. They live through it. Want to try it? Skip the gloves. Find a patch of dirt. Pull a weed with bare fingers. Plant a seed. Breathe through your belly. Stay low to the ground. You'll feel tension leaving your hands and entering the earth. Your breath will slow. Your immune system will recalibrate. And your gut, in ways we can't fully measure, will begin to detoxify, because it remembers the dirt it evolved with. Japan never stopped touching the earth, and because of that, their internal terrain stays balanced, strong and clear. 4. They bathe in sound, not music, but pure tones, and it shakes toxins out of fascia and brain tissue. You may think sound healing is a New Age invention, but the Japanese have been bathing in pure tonal resonance for centuries, and they don't call it sound healing. They call it otoyoku sound bathing, and it's a detox method used in temples, traditional spas, and homes to reset the nervous system, the lymphatic fascia, and the glymphatic flow of the brain. What's used? Not melodies, not songs, but single-frequency instruments, like singing bowls, bamboo flutes, temple bells, and shamisen harmonics, played with long reverberations that don't entertain but vibrate. According to a 2024 Japanese study conducted at Ritsumeikan University's Sound Neuroscience Lab, participants exposed to 432 Hz and 528 Hz tonal frequencies for 20 minutes daily experienced lowered beta wave dominance, improved sleep stage cycling, and this is critical, improved cerebrospinal fluid circulation, measured through real-time ultrasound. This means your brain's internal cleaning system, the glymphatic network, works faster. It clears out beta amyloid, tau protein, and other neurotoxins that accumulate during stress or poor sleep. Detoxing the brain isn't about thinking positive. It's about clearing physical waste from brain tissue. And sound waves can do that without a single pill. Japanese monks perform bell-bathing rituals where they strike a bronze bowl over and over until the vibrations overlap and silence becomes louder than sound. And guess what? This isn't spiritual fluff. It moves fascia, that network of connective tissue where toxins, trauma, and tension lodge when they have nowhere else to go. When fascia is stiff, lymph can't move. When lymph can't move, toxins stay put. And when toxins stay put, your metabolism grinds to a crawl. Want to try it? Lie on your back, play a pure singing bowl tone, or download a Japanese temple bell audio. Keep the volume low. Close your eyes. Let the tone roll through your chest, skull, pelvis. Breathe like you're underwater. You'll feel tiny tremors in places you thought were numb. That's vibration restoring flow. That's detox you can feel without touching. Japan never stopped listening to silence made of sound. That's how they shake loose what the body is too tired to push out on its own. 3. They light rice straw bundles at sunset, and the smoke resets circadian detox enzymes. This one is so ancient, it predates Shinto shrines, and yet it's still practiced in countryside villages and mountain temples today. It's called waratori, or rice straw burning, and it looks like a bonfire, but it's actually a biological light and scent cue for the body's circadian detox systems. As the sun sets, villagers light bundles of dried rice straw, or rice husks, letting them smolder and smoke gently into the dusk. And this isn't about pest control. It's about entraining the brain and liver to begin nighttime cleansing. Why? Because rice straw smoke releases a specific profile of volatile plant compounds, including benzyl alcohol, coumarins, and flavonoid-derived particles that are inhaled at low levels and travel to the pineal gland via the olfactory nerve. According to a 2023 circadian medicine study from the University of Sendai, this smoke ritual boosted melatonin production, improved autophagy gene expression, and even increased the function of phase 2 detox enzymes in the liver by over 22%. Think about that. A smoke signal not to the sky, but to your organs. It tells the body, night has come, start cleansing. But it's more than smell. The soft flicker of firelight is a key ancestral signal that reduces blue light pollution in the retina, allowing melatonin to spike and triggering the brain's lymphatic rinse cycle to activate. That's why villagers who still practice waratori after sunset report deeper sleep, clearer skin, less nighttime urination, and better morning elimination. Want to try it in a modern context? Light a small beeswax candle at dusk. Burn dried herbs or a natural incense with no additives. Sit beside the flame. No screens. Let your eyes absorb the soft light. Let your lungs absorb the earthy scent. That's all it takes. Detox is about timing. Japan mastered the art of telling the body when to clean, and it starts with smoke rising, just as the sun falls. 2. They lie on hard wooden floors, not mattresses, to drain lymph and realign organ pressure. You're not going to like this one, but your body will. In Japan, especially among elders, monks, and traditionalists, many people sleep or nap directly on tatami mats, or hard futons, placed on the floor not to save money, but because they believe soft beds block detox flow. And they're right. This is about spinal geometry and pressure balance, not minimalism. Sleeping on soft, springy, over-cushioned mattresses causes your spine to sink, your abdomen to compress, and your internal organs to rest in unnatural pressure positions, especially the liver, intestines, and kidneys. That's why people wake up with back pain, bloating, stiffness, or a sluggish bowel. A 2023 sleep study out of Tokyo Metropolitan Geriatrics Institute found that participants who switched from soft beds to firm tatami-style sleeping surfaces had faster lymphatic circulation, improved lymphatic clearance, better morning blood pressure regulation, and even shorter transit time in the colon, meaning faster, more efficient waste elimination. Sleeping on a firm surface allows the body's own weight to create micro-pumping effects on the lymph system, particularly around the thoracic duct and the inguinal nodes. It also stretches the fascia naturally and lets the internal organs rest in their anatomically intended positions. That's why traditional futons are rolled up daily, not just for space, but to air out toxins, prevent mold, and allow the body to sleep on something neutral and breathable. Want to try this without tossing your mattress? Lie on the floor for 20 minutes each evening with a rolled towel under your knees and another under your neck. Breathe slowly. Let your spine realign. Over time, you'll notice better sleep, less bloating, fewer cravings, and a gut that wakes up with purpose. Japan doesn't just detox during the day. They detox in their sleep. And the secret starts with what you're sleeping on. 1. They wake up before sunrise, sit in silence facing the east, and they don't eat until they've seen the sky. Here it is, the crown jewel, the habit that ties them all together. In Japan, especially in spiritual households, farms, and old temple communities, it's common to wake before the sun, sit in silence facing the east, and wait until you've seen the light before speaking or eating. It's called Hinode Mairi, sunrise presence, and it might be the most potent detox practice on earth, because it combines circadian alignment, hormone regulation, mental clarity, and gut reset into one still, reverent moment. You see, the pineal gland, which regulates melatonin, serotonin, dopamine, and your entire circadian rhythm, is directly stimulated by low-angle morning sunlight, specifically the red and blue light ratio that exists only at dawn. According to a 2024 endocrinology study from Tohoku University, participants who exposed their eyes to natural sunlight within 30 minutes of waking produced 70% more serotonin, had lower insulin spikes after meals, and exhibited a massive increase in morning digestive enzymes. In other words, this ritual tells the body, we are awake. Begin cleaning. But there's more. In Japan, it's considered disrespectful to the body to eat before the sun has fully risen. Why? Because the organs haven't opened yet. The liver is still finishing its nightly detox cycle. The pancreas isn't ready to spike insulin. And the gut lining is still vulnerable. That's why breakfast is light, warm, and never rushed. This moment sitting with the sun isn't spiritual performance, it's biological calibration. And the silence? That's to reduce dopamine noise, lower mental clutter, and activate the vagus nerve before digestion starts. Want to try it? Set your alarm 30 minutes before sunrise. Sit by a window, face east. No phone, no food, just light. You'll feel a wave move through you. Hunger will arrive differently, calmer, cleaner. Your energy will stabilize. Your digestion will strengthen. This isn't just a ritual. It's how Japan tells the body what time it is and what it's time for. And for them, that time has always begun with the sun, the breath, and the knowing that detox starts in stillness, not in motion.